Here we go. Already it seems to be recording now.
Yeah. So I was very touched by watching your experiences, and I felt, wow, I want to be part of it. I want to experience with you. For myself, it's much more easier to experience with music, or when I experience with my voice, with music which is coming up in this moment, which hasn't existed before.
Yeah.
So then it's somehow, yeah, I'm one with the music, and I can open up and let it come. It's a bit different when I try to sing, for example, a song which exists already. Then there can come some disturbance in to do it in a certain way, or to do it good enough, or yeah.
Got it.
I experienced this is a difference for me.
Yeah.
Does this make sense for you?
Yeah, I'm receiving it. And just to clarify, you're talking about the video when I'm connected with Christine and Tara. And yeah, that was our research. I guess the one before the last one. And yeah, I'm totally there. I feel you on this, on what you're sharing of. It sounds like improvising. In that place of improvising and of new, in that place of new and discovery, that place of exploration, and not of doing something from the past, or not of doing something rehearsed, but of being in that present moment where you're adapting to the necessities of the moment. Yeah, and this is my field, that this is my passion of my field of passion, like being in that place, being in that place of improvising and doing new things. This feels to me like the birthplace of music. And I thought you wanted to say something. I love to hear it.
Yeah, and for me now, it becomes more clear that if I sing a song which exists already, then to come in this improvising state, so as if it's unknown. Somehow it's known, because I know how the melody goes, and I know the text and so on. But the challenge for me is to come in this state of being as if it's unknown. So yeah, to explore, to take a risk, to be surprised also. Yeah, and not, oh, I know.
Gotcha. An example is coming up for this for me with the kids, for example. There is a lot of different songs, like Twinkle Little Star, and that song of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, we sang it probably 1,000 times or more, and it comes to a point where I don't want to sing it anymore. I don't want to sing the same song anymore, and it's coming to that place of reinventing the song every time. So now, I don't have the need to sing that song, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. I can just go into reinventing the song and creating new patterns for it, and even like making it different timings, different, reinventing it and connecting it with other pieces.
Yeah. that totally resonates in me.
Mhm.
A friend of mine, he has his birthday next week. And last year for his birthday, I started to invent, we have in Germany a very common birthday song. It's called Viel Glück und viel Segen. What does it mean in English? A lot of luck and Segen, I don't know. All the best for you.
Okay.
And then I thought, oh, I want to sing something for him and give a voice message, send a voice message. And then I thought, but I don't want to sing this fucking song again and again and again. But I love somehow the words. It's a very nice wish for someone. And so I started with the words, but with another melody. And then I started improvising, and yeah, he loved it very much, and I loved it. I was surprised. And then I started with improvising common songs, just to use a little bit of the stuff, a little melody, or a little bit of the text, and then go on wherever it takes me. I can send you the recording of this. It's very short. Or we can experience something together in this way, or whatever.
Yeah, one of the edges where where the technology, I guess, where the technology is blocking is the latency of the connection, the distance that it takes for the sound to travel from here to the other place. It makes it so that we cannot be exactly in sync. So it's
Together.
very, very hard to keep a rhythm here and that you keep it there at the same time, because the time that it takes for me to make this sound here, it takes certain seconds to get over there. Yeah, so this is one of the edges, like, oh, it's like, it's not the same as being together. It's not the same as being together in the same room. It's very close, but there is that limitation of it, of how we can collaborate together.
Yeah.
Online. And yeah.
So that's the only thing I wanted to give as feedback for this session with Christine and Tara. It really turns me on to experiment like this, and just to sing whoa and whoa, whoa, where I am, whoa, and to feel, to hear, and to go on, and to have other people to witness these experiments. That's really, yeah, it's different than if I try on my own at home and nobody hears it.
Yeah,
It makes it much more fun also. Yeah. And then I watched the next video you did when you were alone the Thursday after. And I loved this 5-finger method you introduced us. And for me as a musician, so I studied music on the conservatory. So the melody and the harmony and the rhythm is very close to a musician. And the two ones, the silence and the love, these are two qualities. It's not so common to learn this on in a music study.
Yeah.
And I experienced for myself a lot with silence and music.
Yeah.
I love it really to be aware of the silence before I start with the sound, and then to touch the silence with the first sound, and then also in every pause or in every little gap between one and the next, the following, there's always a playing with silence.
Yeah.
This makes for me music very alive. Yeah.
So I hear you went through conservatory of music and you studied music as like a theory and like the whole, like how the school is teaching music. And
Yeah.
and I, okay, so you found that the silent and love, they don't include this part into their teachings. And in some ways is intrinsic, like it's intrinsic, like, okay, you have a melody and this is the physicalities and the technicalities of melody, and there is silence in between and there is silence before and after, but they don't actually mention it as an element. They don't.
Yeah.
Did, so
Yeah. Yeah.
did that open new doors for you?
And the three elements, they are so important in the theory of music, the melody, harmony, and the rhythm. And the silence, yeah, you are lucky if you find a teacher who is teaching this too.
Yeah.
And for me, somehow the silence was the doorway to go through and to experience with, to come to the love in the music. That's the quality of the heart, of the being, of then there's really no disturbance when I'm connected with love and just sing and just be. Then there is no time, no doubt, no thinking, no nothing to disturb this flow of love. And this really I didn't learn at the conservatory. I had the opportunity to have a teacher who learned when he started to play the flute. He learned it from a man who goes in the earlier days through the streets and played outside for the people, and they throw money out of the windows.
Oh, wow.
And this was really great because he learned from him and I learned from him without notes. So it was only through hearing.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you playing?
Intuitive.
I will try it. Intuitive, like children are learning, like as you learn your mother tongue.
Yeah.
Also only by hearing. And this for me is also a doorway to be authentic in music. When you're not busy with notes or with your eyes, you can close your eyes. You don't need to see something in the outside.
Oh, it sounds like there is so much there. And you mentioned something in your message that I really wanted to hear more about. If you can share some in you said you had a last performance where you were singing, and you mentioned that you were able to be completely in your center, in your center of your emotional being, in the center of your physical being and energetic being. And I wonder if there is more that you could share. There is something that you can share about that.
Yeah, it was possible for me to, maybe for the first time since I'm a musician, when I was a child, I got lessons, piano lessons, when I was 5 years old. And it was
Yeah.
with a lot of pressure and with a lot of pressure to be good, to be perfect, and all this. And in the last 10 years, I started to become aware of it, and I started to start at zero. I tried to play an instrument I've never played before. I borrowed a cello from a friend. So I didn't, I had the experience. I want really to be a beginner, absolutely, and not to be a perfect musician. So this was a big help, really, to play an instrument I never played before. So I had this beginner mood.
Yeah. Right on.
And then after I went again and played piano or was singing or flute, they were somehow contaminated with this pressure.
Yeah.
And after I started totally new with the cello, I also was able to start totally new with flute and singing and piano.
Yeah. Yeah. That resonates so much.
But I really had to leave those instruments for a while, maybe 2
Yeah.
years, something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and then when I wrote the first message in our Telegram group, when you answered, I experienced after the sadness training, when I really was close to my sadness, pure sadness, tears, pure feeling. After this experience, I could see very clear when I'm losing my center in singing, for example, or when I'm in. So when my center is in my body, my energetic centers in my physical. And then my voice is clear, then my voice is my voice. And in the moment when I start thinking, what will the public think in this moment? Or when I'm not, when I want to check, am I good enough? Or are they, are they inspired, or are they nurtured? Or so I'm with my thinking, I'm busy with them. And this is so much disturbing my aliveness and my being. And this Monday, then after our exchange, and Ingrid also, she wrote something in the Telegram group that she, in her singing time, often gave her center to the public.
Yeah.
Something like this. And on Monday, I met a guitar player, and we met another guitar player in Argentina, and he's coaching a bit our playing and singing.
So you're playing together with somebody that's playing guitar, and somebody is on the computer on the other side in Argentina and giving you coaching about what he sees.
Coaching.
And
Yes.
right on. Wow.
Yeah. And that was just a decision. I went there and I decided, so now there's no reason to give up my center anymore. So why? And it worked. It really worked. And it happened a lot. In one way, it was totally easy because I was not busy with thinking. I was not comparing my singing with something else, someone else. I was not comparing. I was not judging. There was no doubt. There was just we three and the singing and the music, and so what?
Right on.
And now when I'm telling this, when I'm hearing myself telling this, I recognize that for me, as a person who had started learning music with such a pressure for such a long time, it's really a long way and a hard way to come again to this point of no stress, no pressure, just music. And I started maybe 10 years ago to teach this to other people, and I teach children. And it was somehow easier for me to hold space for them to come to this natural flow of music.
Yeah,
Then for myself,
I see. You were able to teach it, but you weren't able to like do it yourself.
yeah.
I see.
And immediately when people come in my place, when someone was sitting next to me and maybe asked, could you play a piece on the piano for me? Yes, I can. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, it starts heart racing. Center is all the way over there.
Yeah. And now I'm there with you, and I'm really interested in finding next experiments, next steps. Maybe to invite one person next week, or to go little steps, step by step, to grow and to be more and more natural with it, to trust. And I feel like a Bambi in this. It's just the beginning.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I can share a bit of where I see things going in terms of what you're sharing right now, and also your experience that you share of the coach, somebody coaching on the other side, that being like an opening of possibility for the training of what it will be an archearchal music possibilitator, for example, or a possibilitator with a specialty of music, archearchal music, of yeah. So there is the possibilities of that training, of developing that training and what that looks like. And that to me is a discovery process that I'm very excited about, because I'm going through it also like a Bambi. Like I don't know, I don't know where it's going and how it goes. And I'm excited to see, because he's already developing in the connections that I've been having with people, with my brother and with Ormos, with Tara and with Christine, and now with you, is naturally developing. Like we're talking about it and sharing about it, and new doors are opening up with new possibilities. And that's one of the possibilities of the possibilitator. And the other big piece that's there for me that is developing is the stage fright.
Yeah.
that feeling of stage fright and developing experiments, either an experiment or a decontamination of going from stage fright to a stage delight, I call it, but it can be called anything else.
Yeah, the calling stage delight was very helpful for me, because I never found a word for this,
Mhm.
what I'm longing for. I
I
only
see.
had this fear.
Yeah, like an
And
overtaking fear.
mhm.
Mhm.
So you would say that's two things you want to develop, is the archearchal music and the transformation from stage fright to stage delight.
Yes, yes. And it's coming up as like introduction to archearchal music, a work talk of introduction to archearchal music,
Mhm.
and another talk, word talks about um, a training program for a possibilitator that is specialized in archearchal music or music.
Mhm.
And there is so much to discover in there. There is already been suggestions on the possibility creation village group, and yeah, I'm down. I'm open to start meeting again. If there is a more that you like to research, and even to continue that a weekly meeting for 1.5 hours
Mhm.
that is free for anybody to join that group and join us. The in continuing this research and doing experiments. Um, and in some ways, I feel scared.
Mm.
I feel very scared that I'm still learning and that I'm taking too much. There is some fears there, and I'm willing to go and continue connection and continue the discovery.
Yeah, I heard you will continuing, and the fear. What what does this come from? What are you afraid of?
The fear is in not being able to hold the space, not having a good rhythm or something like this, of not being like the space holder that is needed for archaeological music to come out.
Yeah, maybe you can try, or we
Yeah.
can try together, or we can see by doing it to explore what is needed in this space holding.
Hmm.
For me, there is also the question, what do you mean by archearchal music?
Hmm.
Is it for you only music we are developing in the future?
To me,
Or could it also be music which already exists, and we play it or sing it in an alive and way? So for me, there's this difference between making music and being music.
yes, yeah, that's a big distinction.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then for me, when I'm in this being music, or when I'm we had this with the love and the silence and these qualities, then maybe that's where I want to go. That's where I want to hold space for. And then it doesn't matter if it's music which exists already or if it's just coming up in the this moment.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're discovering what, to me, that's the question too. What is archearchal music? Is what's opening up these portals of discovery. And I saw that the silence and the love being these new elements that get added, that are conscious elements that get added that perhaps before it wasn't conscious. It was, to me, it's like coming from a 3D reality to a 4D reality with silence, and then to a 5D reality with love. Something like this, like love and silence now become conscious parts of music. And that to me speaks of like darkness, and light, or darkness and creation. And that if one of them is not there, then let's say that there is no silence, no consideration of silence inside of the music, and it's all love, melody, harmony, and rhythm. And then it can be this thing that feels like monotonous, like there is something missing to it, there is something that is missing,
like a machine.
Yeah, like a machine. Dun, 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 love, 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 love. And yeah, to me, these elements, they really bring that like balance and wave and consciousness. It brings the consciousness to music. And I don't know what it is. Not about performance. It's also like about testing the qualities of the space. As a space holder, when I'm holding space for emotional healing process, or holding space for an initiation on it, or even not even holding space, just being a sentient being, I can use these distinctions of these five elements to test the qualities of the space. So there is this to me is the training of being an archearchal music experimenter or possibilitator.
Yeah. And then when you are in these qualities, your performance is not different from being alive before the performance. So I'm alive and the music starts and the performance starts, and the aliveness maybe erase and maybe expand that I wanted, or it's more intense, but it's not a cut of there's my life and I go on stage and the cut and now it's the performance. There is a sentence from Bobby McFerrin, I remember. He said he loved it to come as late as possible on stage. So that there's no change of the life not on stage and on stage, so that it's one flow. So I love this. And yeah,
it's amazing.
as late as possible, so there's very little chance to destroy or to disturb the aliveness.
Wow. I'm integrating that one.
Mm.
I got to see Bobby McFerrin a few years before he passed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him live, and it changed my life.
Yeah, I saw him also once live in Germany. Yeah.
And in the meeting that I have yesterday with somebody else from Australia, we also talked about Bobby McFerrin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Mm.
just came out in the conversation as inspiration and spark. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Silvia, you mentioned, I don't know if there is something that you like to share right now. There is I would like to change the gears to an experiment that we can do, if you would
Mm-hmm.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great.
Do you have an
The
idea for an
Yeah,
experiment? Okay.
yeah, and is this, if you would like to do an experiment about expressing being music,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll give each other, we'll take turns, and you do it for 3 minutes and I can do it for 3 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and I can be here witnessing and seeing, and you can let me
Mm-hmm.
know after how it goes. And it can be approximately 3 minutes. We found it was a bit hard to stop at 3 minutes exactly, so I'll leave it up to you.
Yeah. Okay, just with the voice, what's coming up? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shall I start?
When you're ready. Yeah.
Okay. Just be music and let it.
Music.
Okay. I don't know when 3 minutes are over. Oh, I can't hear
Thank
you.
you. I was in mute. I didn't catch that. I think that was close to 3 minutes.
Okay.
I remember I saw 11:46 just before, and it's 11:49.
Perfect. Would you like to go on?
Yeah, yeah. Um, I had some question question about, okay, maybe I'll ask, maybe I can ask the question afterwards. Mhm. And what I'm gonna record it. I'm gonna record it in the phone. What I'm gonna do. It's an experiment that I'm doing of collaborative music, ways to collaborating on music or in real time through an app, and I'm doing an experiment with that. It's something that I can record here, and then it can be shared instant automatically with another collaborator on the other side, and we can add different layers to it and reuse certain parts and mix them up and add effects to it and all these sort of things.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll see. I'll let you know how that experiment goes. Okay, so 11:51. Oh, hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Ooh, hey, mama, yeah, mama, I say, nada me, yeah. Ooh, yeah, no, no, me, wow. Hey, ooh. Ooh, hey, yeah, hey, yeah, oh, hey, 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 yeah, oh, hey, oh, hey, hey, yeah, oh, hey, hey, oh, oh, yeah, oh, hey, yeah, oh, 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 yeah, oh, hey, 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 yeah, oh, hey, hey, yeah, oh, hey. We are a head, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, hey, go ahead now, show me where, oh, hey, no, hey, oh, hey, hey, una pena, una pena, una pena, don't do my way, do my, oh, my, oh, 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 oh. Thank you.
Danke. Thank you.
Uh,
Hey,
feel joy.
hey, yahoo, hey.
I feel joy. Yeah, I feel there is a big difference in the being witness or something and being just having that space of listening is huge. It feels so enlivening, and
Mhm.
and that it can open doors to a lot of possibilities and creativity.
Yeah. In the second half of your singing, I really felt it in my body, and I wanted to move to. It was more difficult not to move than
Yeah.
to go with the rhythm.
Mm.
Mm.
I'm very glad that we met, and that we're doing these experiments together.
Mhm. Yes, thank you for this experiment. And
Hmm.
when I started to sing or to be music, it was inspiring to see your face and how things resonated in you, and this really yeah, it was also a flow of life. It's not only out of my being, it's also coming out of your being in a way. It's my voice in this experiment, but it's your energy and my energy together, or higher energy, whoever wants,
That
however it
resonates with
wants
me.
to. Mhm.
Yeah. Mm.
And really, this is for me now a doorway to come more to this stage delight, really to be aware of the energy of the people who are witnessing, and mm, to play with this energy too,
Hmm.
to feel the resonance and to play with the resonance. And yeah, it's not I'm the musician and the public is silent,
Hmm.
no name. They
Yeah.
paid for the entrance, and that's it. It's really your presence, your energy in hearing, and yeah, and in possibility management, we also experience with the hearing the quality of how am I when I'm hearing, and what becomes possible through my quality of hearing.
Yeah.
We play with expressing and with hearing in music
Yeah.
in the same time.
Yeah. What becomes possible when when depending on the quality of hearing.
Mhm. Yeah. So that's a quality for the space holding, the quality of hearing.
Yes.
And am I connected in my hearing with the possibilities who wants to show up, to come up? And not as a music teacher in the old map, um, counting the mistakes and
Yeah.
yeah, giving advices after you have to do this better, this louder, this earlier, this
Hmm. something feels very expansive about what you're sharing about this being staying open to the what is in the listening field, like what in what we're listening to and catching those things. And I imagine there is limitations of doing this over Zoom, and I see that in exploring this as a local village, for example, in your local village, in live, in person, we are able to do experiments where we are singing and hearing at the same time, where we can split the attention to hear and use some of our attention to sing and to express, to be connected, and and work with this resonance of how we're resonating with each other and how what we are doing, how is resonating with the outside world, with the rest of the world. uh, I'm very excited about all those possibilities. To me it seems like I don't know yet what's gonna be possible. And
yeah, I have no experience with experiencing on Zoom. I've only experiences in real presence. And I wonder, when I started to move a bit with your singing, was it disturbing because maybe it was not on time? Was it disturbing for you because of the Zoom?
That'll be it wasn't disturbing, and I would imagine if you will disturb me, it would be that I'm getting out of my center, like I'm giving my center away or something. If it's something that is disturbing me, it doesn't disturb, but it does like interact. It interacts with the energy that is at play.
It interacts with the energy, but it doesn't interact in the timing, in the rhythm, doesn't it?
It didn't disturb my rhythm, no. But we can do this experiment here now, and or for example, I can set up a metronome here, and if you try to keep the rhythm over there, like it's gonna be delayed by the time I get it back.
Hey, we are together. Is this possible?
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Me, it's together.
Let's see. I just had an idea, because it is together. It is together when there is an originator. If we say that this metronome is the originator, then you receive it. But and then you're able to keep that, and for you it sounds good. For me, when I get the loop back of what of what you're receiving, it's already delayed.
You hear then the delay. Okay.
So it is, yeah, but it is. I just saw some new possibilities that it is possible for you to be in sync with it, because you're getting that beat, that regular beat.
Oh yeah, yeah, I understand.
But but it's not reciprocally, like it's from one way from here to there, and once it gets there it's good, but by the time it comes back to me, there is
Yeah.
a like a delay, so we're not actually able to like be uh, in the same tune.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to try any other experiment, I'm willing to do it too.
So only one of us has the joy of being together.
In a way, or I saw it like it could be like a waterfall too, like it can be an originator, then the next person gets it, then the next person gets it, then the next person gets it, but there is no way to track back. It's like a waterfall. It's like flowing down, and as
Yeah.
long as it's flowing down, it's all good.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how to set that up, but there is some possibilities that I didn't see before.
Yeah. I tried singing with some people during when the Corona pandemic started. I had a choir before, and we
Yeah.
were 25 people, and now it's not going on. And in the time between, we started to try to sing on Zoom together. I played piano and I was singing. I invited one person to be in my space, in my place,
Yeah.
and the other, they were on Zoom on the video. Yeah, but we didn't had a choir feeling. It was just they could hear us and they could sing together with us,
Hmm.
but we didn't hear them.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's
Yeah.
very limited.
Yeah, and at the same time, I do notice that there is some benefits to it. If and the benefits that I see that it gives this the like a it gives a distance. It gives a distance that allows us to perhaps feel some things that we weren't able to feel when we were together before. In
Mm,
terms of stage fright, for example, it allows us to play more gently into those subtle things that gives us stage fright, and it's not like jumping straight right into a stage and performance, but that it gives us this like buffer zone of practice and distance that it can really open up different worlds for different people.
mhm. Yeah, what's coming up for me now is other elements, that the playing, that music is playing, it's not making. And I feel now this playfulness
Yeah.
in myself after our experiment, this playing and this feelings,
Hmm.
really to somehow also to play with feelings. I when I sang, I played a bit with sadness and with joy.
Yeah.
And in music, we can switch. We can switch very, yeah, immediately if we decide to. Yeah, and
Yes.
that's also a field I want to explore more, to to go in the feeling and to go out and
Mm.
to decide each time when I want to go in and when I want to go out, and then I'm out. and then I'm in something new.
Yeah.
And I remember when I studied flute, the very traditional Baroque music, you always have this sonata form. You have allegro, and then you have an andante, it's slow, and then you have again. And at those times, it was not so easy for me to switch
I see.
immediately. When I was in one atmosphere, yeah, it was not so easy to switch. And
Y-
now, today, I feel it becomes more easy.
Yeah.
So I can cry, I'm sad, and then wow, and then the sun comes again, and I'm full of joy,
Mm-hmm.
and I can be angry, and all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something is saying like comforts, like the comforts of the being in that, like when there is a mood and there is a mood that's created, and then sometimes it's hard to come out of that mood because it feels so good, and
Mhm.
it's like, oh yeah, I just want to stay here, and I don't know how it's gonna end or how it's gonna go, but I just want to stay here.
Mhm.
And yeah, like there is a change that we can consciously change and escape our comforts, escape what's maybe making us feel too comfortable or
Mhm. Maybe when we check in with music, we can check in also with the four feelings.
yeah.
I can sing my sadness, I can sing my anger, I
Yeah.
can sing my joy and my fear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. If you see that experiment, yeah, like how would that go?
How would that go? And where is the border of music? So when I just let out an angry sound, ah,
Mm-hmm.
is this music or is it not music? And when starts angry music or being angry in music?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Well, I
it's
see that
sliding.
you can use the four elements to see, because if it's just one shout, it will be like a just one melody, and then a very short melody.
Yeah, very short.
So you're like now you got like some rhythm and melody. I can feel that there is some joy in there. So I'm doing actually a mix of joy and anger.
Joy in the anger.
So you
Joy.
gotta unmix those feelings to make it more like anger. Just and it is possible. There is a friend told me that yeah, there is a whole genre of music dedicated to angry music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
more like metal, like the metal rock and roll,
Mhm.
like this sort of. Wah! Children from the stop on the drum daughter. And I guess every it's up to each one of us to discover what that is for us.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then the most of the children's songs, they are not about this. They're not about angry sounds.
Mm-hmm.
They all are sweet and nice.
Yeah.
And yesterday I had a piano lesson with a little girl. She lives next to my house and she comes once a week. And she really loves to play in the very, very dark zone of the piano, very deep sounds, boom, 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 boom. And sometimes it's too much for me, or I think, oh, you also can play
Yeah.
here. And then she did an experiment. It was her idea. She starts in the deep and the dark. And what did she say? She says that's, oh, in German we say unheimlich. It's like, it's dangerous, it's scary, it's
Mm-hmm.
And she started from very deep and she goes tone by tone, and she wanted to explore when this stops and when other tones come. And then she found 3 fields on the piano, this where it's very, very dangerous. And then there was this middle zone she felt comfortable with. That's the comfort zone. And then there was this high, and it was also not so nice for the ears. And yeah, and it was totally her idea. It was not my proposal to experiment this.
Right.
Yeah.
So she discovered it for herself.
Mhm.
Right on. How old is she?
She's 7.
All right. Sweet.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah, and I'm very interested in what we will discover together. Her mother comes with her. It's the first lessons, and I said, okay, for me it's okay if she comes the first lessons with her. And when the daughter says, no, mom, you can stay at home, I want to go there alone, then it's okay. And I felt a bit pressure that I had to convince the mother that we are doing stuff that because she is paying for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that was a process for me really to not be so that it's not disturbing my way of being with the child, that the mother is sitting there in my back.
Yeah, I see.
That's also for me a learning process.
Yeah. Uh, You
Just
find you were giving your center to the mother.
to the mother,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Just to be with the child as if the mother was at home.
Yeah, I see.
No disturbance, no, yeah.
Great.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. This, what is resonating with me is that the girl that's learning, the 7-year-old girl, she's learning also from you, from your experiment, how you are
Mhm.
holding that space for her without giving your importance, your attention to her mother, to another adult. But you are giving your attention to the child that's learning. And
Yeah.
like she's observing this and learning from it and receiving it and growing with it.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah. So you have a lot of experience with your own children. 1 and 3 and 5.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they're also musical beings. They're into their music. The little one, the 1 year old, he's more into dancing. He's like really like whenever he hears music, he starts dancing and moving. And the oldest one, she's exploring a lot with her voice. And actually, the 3 year old too is singing a lot. Mhm. Yeah, so I find that they go to this place of non-verbal reality, where it's not about the words and about the logic of the words. They're just exploring with sounds and with different sounds, and they're almost tuning into like they're almost tuned into a different reality that is not like a verbal and making logical, making sense of things through the words, but they're making sense of things through the sounds and through their sensations on their body. It's not it's not a logic thing. They're wondering why is daddy in the computer all the time talking and talking and talking. and they, and I they're wondering like why aren't they using their body? Why are they so much inside of the verbal reality? And this to me is like the power of music and the power of next culture music. To me, it feels like that that is a bridge, like a really huge bridge from verbal reality to non-verbal reality or experiential reality. And this going unreasonable, going sideways, and like going into different places, depending on the necessities of the space. Hmm.
And when I'm hearing you saying the about sense, what's making sense for the child in the music, then the word sense becomes another sense for me. It's not a logical meaning of sense. It's relating to life sense. That somehow a sense children are in if we don't disturb them, if we don't throw them out, they are in
Hmm.
from the first day on. And somehow this is the my English, the Aufgabe, this is the quest, or this is our part to not disturb this natural being.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, to me, when you were saying it, the word sense, it became a doorway to me, to my being, not being separate from the world, not being separate from nature, for my being is here and that it's always been here, and that that is going into that verbal reality or the logic reality that creates a separation of myself and the world.
Yeah.
That my senses are here all the time. And, mm. Sylvia, is there anything else? Anything
Yeah.
else that's coming for you?
Only one last thing is coming to close the circle where we started with. And when I'm connected with the nature while being in music, and I'm using words, I'm using, for example, a song with a certain text, the
Yeah.
lyric,
Mm-hmm.
then it's I want to try not to cut off the connection with this nature flow. So there is somehow a kind of logic in, because there are words and my brain is using words, but somehow I go on another level to use words, not in a logical way, but in an energetical way, to use the energy in the words, to use the aliveness, and not cut myself off life when I'm using words. Does this make sense to you?
Huge.
Okay.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
like I sense it like a hyper connection. Like words can almost like enhance the connection with the world and where we are with, and create energetical impacts inside of like this fabric, this layer of verbal reality of other people that understand that sound, and
Mm-hmm.
and they get like this energetic of the word that was said, for example, and like get like extra connection, like a hyper connection to the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Yeah.
for our further on experiences, there's a question coming up for me. What's cutting me off and what's connecting me to
Yeah.
life while being in music?
Amazing.
Yeah. And I realize in my singing or being on stage, it's not totally cutting off. I mean, I'm still going on singing.
Mm-hmm.
It's maybe 20% or 50%, or I'm not 100% in my center. So I can imagine when I experience more and more with it, I can feel when I'm 5% out of my center and come back again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to lose totally my center and my connection. Yeah. So I'm done. For, is there something in you alive? What you want to share now?
I'm feeling grateful, feeling joy that we're meeting and that we're creating in this exchange.
Mm-hmm.
And that I want to yeah, I want to do more. I want to do more of it, and with other people, with like
Other,
bringing in others, bringing them into the discovery process, creating different experiments together, and coming together on a regular basis to hold space for others to tap into their their music in their being music,
yeah.
and for
So
myself, my own journey too,
yeah, too.
my own journey with music.
Yeah. Yes. So let me know when you are ready to open up a space for others.
Hmm. Okay, next week.
Or next week, maybe.
Yeah,
Is this Thursday um, uh, a time for you where you want to do it?
I'm
Or
open. I'm
is it
open for a
open?
new time. Yeah, that
Mhm.
works for like people in Germany. I know Christine and Tara. They've been in Germany, and there is also other time zones.
Yeah,
So yeah, something that fits both time zones.
yeah.
perhaps around this time, perhaps even like a bit earlier, like at 10 o'clock or something. Yeah, at 10 o'clock. I'll have to check my schedule, but I think we can arrange that on the Telegram chat.
Okay, we can.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm very grateful that we met now today. I was a bit scared before and I thought, oh, where do we want to go? Yeah. And I'm a bit proud that that I followed my interest and I went with the fear to come here.
Yes. Yes.
It's somehow a fear for experimenting, and in the same way, this is such a huge life force, this experimenting force. I want to try, I want to experiment, I want to to know more, to experience more, to feel more.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, fear, this has a lot to do with following my fear, and I was very afraid too. I was scared. I wasn't sure where it's gonna go, what the feedback was gonna be, and all these questions. And you say, yeah, I want, and there were four or five other things that came out to do at this time, and I was like, no, that's not for me. No, that's not for me. That's not for me. It's like, yeah, I need to go with Silvia. I want to go with Silvia. Yeah.
In me, there was a fear to meet with you, and there was a fear that you would say, no, you have no time, and then it goes to other weeks, and maybe we lose the contact. And then I looked in my handy, and no, he didn't answer. Oh no, he didn't answer. Yes, he answered.
Oh, great. All righty, Silvia.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. And yeah, thank you for your connection. I really appreciate your time and connection in coming here and experimenting here and researching here with me on this.
Me too. Thank you very much, and see you soon.
See you next time. All right.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Thank you.